What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Off the Mat podcast with Keith and
Brian Harris. How's it going, guys?
It's good, man. Mr. Hawaii over here. He left for 5 days.
Yeah. It was 5 days. We're back now. We're back. Mr. Keith here said that he was going to do a little video blog podcast without me, but did not do so. I'm actually slightly disappointed that you didn't do that because I was kind of looking forward to that whenever I got back.
I figured you would have critiqued me and not liked it, so I didn't want to.
Well, if it was shitty, I would have told you it was shitty.
I mean, but that's the big thing.
I doubt it would have been, though. Like, I was genuinely interested in checking it out.
You know what? I wanted to do it, and then I genuinely was worried that it was going to be, like, too emo. Because I feel like sometimes, like, when I go down that path,
yeah,
I feel like you always kind of like, all right, let's cheer this bitch up.
Reel you back in.
I feel like me on my own with no, like, watcher, I guess I could say. I feel like I just would have went down this dark path. And I was
I thought that you would like bring someone else on or something, just like a filler person while I was gone, which I would have been fine with. Like have Matt come on or something like that.
Yeah, I thought about asking Matt, but then last week I was sick.
Oh yeah.
So
that's right. I was giving you so people will see this episode next. So last episode we did was the Marissa episode when I was giving you a hard time for being sick. And little did I know.
I had strep throat.
Little teddy bear here was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Him was sick.
I tried to thug it out for a couple of days, man. I went every day, just got worse and worse. And then by Saturday, so I think Wednesday night we recorded. That Thursday I went to work and I was like, oh, this is getting bad. And Friday I couldn't eat or drink anything. Like, by the time I would wake up in the morning, I'd just be chugging, like, medicine.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, finally, like, it started affecting my breathing.
Yeah.
And then, so I went to the urgency clinic, and, they took care of me.
They were like, your shit's fucked up.
Yeah, they gave me antibiotics. Well, immediately, she's like, oh, yeah, you have it. They gave me the test, and then they bent me over that table and put a nice little needle in my behind, and, yeah.
How'd that feel?
Magical. It was terrible.
Does it like go to the bone?
No, it doesn't go to the bone. It was
That's just scary.
It was like I try to make light of it because I was already so sick and so much in pain and having a hard time breathing. And then the nurse comes in and she's like, okay, we're gonna administer you a shot. And I was like, cool. And I started like lifting up my sleeve and she's like, no. I'm like,
you wish, motherfucker.
I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean, no? And she's like,
no.
Turn around. I was just like,
damn, she did it like that too?
Well, I was also like messing with her because I was like, turn around, like how? And she's like, Mr. McMillan. I was like, okay, fine.
Okay, so you were trying to be funny.
I was trying to be funny.
She's like, real talk, I'm about to put this needle in your ass.
Well, she's like, I just want to get my fucking job done. I don't have time for your bullshit.
Your fucking games.
As I'm sick as shit.
You're trying to make a fucking little skit out of getting a needle in your ass.
Trying to lighten the mood.
Nice.
So, yeah. Then she stuck it in, and I was like, fuck.
Did it hurt to, like, sit after that?
It's a nagging pain. It's just nagging. It wasn't anything, like, crazy, but it was like, ooh, you feel it. It nags, and then like a day later, it's gone.
I don't know.
Then I've been on antibiotics, so yeah, I got over strep throat. Now I'm trying to come back. I haven't. Fun fact. So the viewers out there, I always talk about losing weight. I lost 10 pounds last week
from being sick.
From not being able to eat.
Have you kept it off?
I don't know. Last time I checked, I did, but I mean, I've been kind of having fun this week, so I've been like. I reintroduced my body to like I had a cupcake the other night. And, I still been like trying to do like greens and a salad every single day.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm sure I kept it off. I don't know. Can you guys tell? No, I mean,
probably not. I would imagine. I mean, if you were sick and that's why you lost 10 pounds, water right off top. You're getting rehydrated. You know what I mean? You probably put that shit right back on. Not to like fucking bring you down.
What a wonderful world, though.
Oh yeah, for that week, you were 10 pounds lighter.
10 pounds, oh bro,
you got that. What about Easter? Did you guys do something for Easter? Do you guys celebrate Easter?
She wanted to, and I work. I don't know if I discussed this on the podcast, but I work every day, like 7 days a week. I work.
Yeah,
and
I know this.
I do it for my family. I'm not complaining. I do it for the family, and I understand the position I'm in, and we have kids now, and I need to support them and make sure I have savings, and kind of prepare for the future. So I'm willing to put in the time and effort to work, 2 different jobs, and I really don't consider this place a job.
Yeah.
I come here, we have a great atmosphere. I get to work out, train jiu-jitsu, do everything I love to do. So I don't consider this a job, but my other job is a damn job. I manage that place, and I say all that to let you know I was just being thoughtless on Easter. Originally, the day of, we did things, but like when I found out it was Easter and we were going to close the other building, I was like, oh my God, I get a full day off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she's like, what do you mean what you're going to do? And I was like, it's my day off.
Yeah. It's fucking Easter.
I'm used to working a 12-hour shift today.
Like, Jesus did not die for my sins so that I couldn't have a day off.
Right. So she was like, well, the baby's first Easter, and let's do something for the family. And, so I was like, oh, there we go.
So you guys did that?
Yeah, we went to her mom's, and they had a cookout, which was fun.
What's that like? Is that different? Like a Hispanic Easter versus a...
Well, I mean, it wasn't different that they're fluent, obviously, in Spanish.
Right.
And that's all they speak.
So you're just kind of there, like, on your phone while they're all talking to one another.
Yeah, I try to be more respectful. Like, if they're looking at me, I'll make eye contact and go, sí. Or I'll be like, gracias. De nada. I know, like, that shit, but I don't know much more. So when they're speaking, I just kind of have to look at her and she'll translate for me. And then they can understand me. I can't understand them.
That's kind of fucked. So wait, they can understand you.
I think her mom can. She tried to pull off that her mom is like, doesn't understand English. And I'm like, fuck that. Your mom understands every single word I say.
Really?
Yeah, because I talk shit to her mom. Her mom responds. So I'm like, I guess shit talking is universal. But,
yeah.
But it was a wonderful time. The family was welcoming, and they had little kids there. So I had a soccer ball in my trunk, oddly enough.
A what now?
A soccer ball.
Okay.
And motherfucker, you got something.
Why are you squaring up, bro? Why are you squaring up?
I know, soccer. That's how I said it earlier.
Yeah, you fucked it up.
Yeah, I'm allowed to.
How do you do this? Every single episode, though, you fuck like a word up that's like soccer, and soccer's not a word.
Soccer.
It's not a word. Soccer. How do you fuck that up?
That's what I was thinking in England.
All right. Soccer. Anyways, I just have to point it out every time. That's like the thing now. I gotta point it out.
You know what? No one else catches it. I'm sure everyone's just listening, trying to get.
They catch it. Everybody else is just a little more polite than I am.
Trying to get through this episode, and then you just fucking call me.
A little more polite. Just like last episode, Marissa, same thing. We called you out on what was it? Something you fucked something up. Anyways, continue on.
I try not to live in the past.
You're at Easter. You can barely talk English, let alone Spanish.
Right. Fuck you. Right. And but no, they had the little kids there around like 7 or 8 years old. Maybe we had a couple kids there, and I had a soccer ball in my trunk, and I pulled it out and I got to play, and I forgot.
They give you the business?
Fuck no.
Really?
Bro,
are you good? Hey. Are you good at soccer?
I'm an athlete.
Fuck off. Are you good at soccer?
No, I'm not. I mean, we didn't have a full roster there, so I mean, we just kind of played I played goalie.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Like, I mean, I'm an athlete too, but when it comes to like dribbling a soccer ball, like,
no, I never got to dribble the ball or anything. Like, I literally set up like 2 cones, and then I was like, hey, if you can shoot past me, because they're little kids.
Yeah.
So I let them just do like penalty shots.
Yeah.
And it was fun, man. I forgot I got to dive for the ball and everything. I'm old as hell, by the way.
Playing with kids at that age is fun as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah, you know.
Like playing sports and shit. Like my dad, he used to always play wiffle ball with us and whatnot when we were that age. And I don't know. It was fun for us. And like looking back at it now that I'm older, like I could tell that he was having fun whenever he was doing it too.
It was genuine fun. And the kids try so hard. And they really felt that it was competitive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you know, I kind of go a little easy, let them get a couple shots in because you don't want to, like, defeat the kid's spirit. But, I legit had fun, and I forgot what it was like just getting out there and having fun at the park and playing again, like just having like no rules, no stipulations. It was kind of like, hey, you guys kick past me, let's have fun.
Yeah.
So the kids went out, and then we played. I played catch with them with the football. Like, well, we used the basketball because we had like a rubber basketball. We didn't have football. Yeah. They want to play interception, and I was QBing for them. It was just a good time. And
that's really, how it is. The adult's the all-time QB.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
But it like brought me back to a good spot in my mind where it was like, I want to do this more, and I want to I want to make sure I'm healthy enough. Yeah. So when my daughters get older, I can do that with them.
Yeah,
and be at
That was one thing. So for like me growing up, man. Because I saw my dad, I still talked to my dad and saw my dad up until I was like 11, 12 years old.
Right.
And meantime, like I'm going to see my dad every other weekend, right? So, throughout the entire week and then every other weekend with Jerry, my stepdad who raised me, my brother's dad, like it was apples and it was way different, not apples and oranges. It was just completely like night and day difference. So like whenever I'm with Jerry, like how I was just telling you, like we're playing wiffle ball and we're doing like football games where he's all-time QB and things like that, and like doing all these sandlot games where I'm getting like all these neighborhood kids together and we're like, all right, what do we want to play? And then we start playing something and Dad's done fucking mowing the lawn and Jerry's like, fuck it, I'll hop in with you guys before I go shower up before dinner because I just got done mowing the lawn. Like, whatever. Right. You know what I mean? My dad's, whenever I would go and see my dad on the weekend, same thing every single weekend. Every single weekend, we'd get a videotape. He'd rent a videotape.
Right.
He would buy me a toy, and he'd pass the fuck out on the couch. That was what we did on the weekends. Every single weekend. And I don't have one memorable weekend with my dad. But I can tell you, like, very, very specific wiffle ball and football games with Jerry of like things that happened. Like I'll never forget one time this little kid, Marcus Purdy, got picked clean by my dad. Picked clean. Tried stealing second. Bad idea. But it was just like you probably made those kids' days, man. Like that's gonna stick with them.
They wanted to keep playing, even and I was like, hey, next time. Yeah. And I remember the little kid being like, hey, make sure you come get me next time. That you come back around, and it's like, I'm not going to go up to your apartment, knock on your door.
Right.
Like, hey, ma'am, is your kid home? I want to play with him.
Right. But in his mind, he's like, this is my fucking friend. Yeah,
we had fun.
It's cool. I got an adult friend.
Dude, I loved it and seeing the kids' genuine happiness. And like I said, I just want to make sure I'm in great shape because those memories are something that stick with you forever, clearly.
Yeah.
And they.
And my dad wasn't in great shape. He was not in good shape. Jerry, he wasn't like the fucking like prototype of good shape guys, but I mean he was always like naturally athletic and he wasn't like completely out of shape until he got into his later years.
Well, I'm hoping, with jiu-jitsu and hopefully this gym will forever be a part of my life that I'll be in better shape than most 40-year-old men, in 10 years or even 15 years, I hope if I stick to this lifestyle and, in 10 years I should have my second stripe on my blue belt. And be able to play with the kids because I just want to create great memories for them and be around. And I think now I'm starting to look into different avenues so I can spend more time with my kids as they get older.
Yeah,
and make sure I'm there for them. Yeah, man, boy.
It might be different with girls though. Like that's the thing. Like we've talked about it before, where we see tough guys like Nick and Jake. They're like these built ass fucking tough guys. They walk in and you're like, the room just got a little bit tougher. You know what I mean? Right. But then Jake's got his fucking toenails painted, and you're like, God damn it. And you got to remember, like, oh yeah, he's got a daughter. Same thing with Nick. Nick's got all daughters, so Nick's just like constantly. They come in with like painted nails and toenails, and you're just like, they got a soft spot.
It's crazy, man, watching these tough guys, alpha males, kind of, have a sensitive side and really open up for their children.
That's what kids do, man. Yeah, for sure.
I'm hoping to do the whole 9 yards. I mean, I want my daughters to be. I mean, I think we would all, not we all, but, I want my daughters to be like these athletes and everything. But if they're not, they're not. If they get into science or whatever they get into, I'm going to support. But I mean, I would love to, I want them to keep their femininity, but also.
You want to play dress up with them?
Yeah. I want to be able to have tea parties and have fun, but also want them to get down and be capable of staying on level or exceeding whoever's in front of them.
Yeah.
You know, jiu-jitsu, especially in jiu-jitsu. If my daughters find a passion and love for jiu-jitsu, male, female, as long as you make the same weight, I want them to be able to fuck you up.
So I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately. And this isn't because of you, because I have other friends. What are you doing right now?
The chair's messed up. Keep going. All
right. So I have other friends with kids that also do jiu-jitsu as well. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way either. Okay. But it seems to me like all of the parents that I've talked to kind of have the same thing of they're like, well, my kids are doing jiu-jitsu, or when my kid's doing this, and like it sounds like you guys have this mindset of like your kids are going to love jiu-jitsu in the same way that you do and will pursue it that entire time. But I always have that thought of like, what if your kid gets on the mats and they hate jiu-jitsu? Because that's possible. It's possible, you know? There's some people that have like phobias about like even being touched.
Well, I think, and that sucks. But you and I discussed this before in a previous episode, not to this detail, but it's one of those things where it's like, I don't blame it. If I force jiu-jitsu or any martial arts down my daughter's throat, I'm sure they're not going to like it.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had Marissa on, and, you know, that was, her lifestyle was basketball.
Yeah.
But she was so burnt out towards the end. Do I want to do that for my daughters? No, but I think martial arts give a good foundation and discipline for children.
For the self-defense piece of things.
Self-defense and just kind of learning how to listen and adapting, and especially with jiu-jitsu, you put yourself in situations where critical thinking and a lot of things are involved to survive, you know? So I want my kids to kind of have that instilled in them. Do I think they're going to be this, you know, world famous black belts by the time they're 20 years old? No, of course not.
No. And I'm not saying in that sense too either, but I'm thinking in like the sense, like how you just said, like Marissa, you know, like she got to a point where she was like, I don't even want to do this because like I feel like I'm being forced to do it.
Right.
And that's when things can become negative, you know? Like now looking back, she doesn't see it as a negative thing, but at the time she felt like it was negative because it made her feel negative. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if that's the case with jiu-jitsu, so if it's like something that they don't want to do and then it's being forced upon them at that point, what's the end result? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the first 13 years of their life.
I think ultimately it's just something that you'll kind of have to figure out along the way.
I mean, I think until they get to high school, that ass is mine. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean,
I've had, like, one of my best friends said the exact same thing. He was like, she doesn't have a fucking choice. She's going to do it until she's 18 at least. Like, I'll be damned if she gets... His argument was the self-defense piece of things. Right. He was like, I'll be damned if she gets attacked and she's not able to defend herself. He's like, so she's at least doing it until she's 18.
There's so many great fundamental things and things that come with martial arts. I mean, even having the kids at 4 years old, 6-year-olds say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Small details like that help a kid progress, especially when they're dealing with adults and understanding if my kid, you know, learns how to listen here. Obviously, if I'm doing my job as a parent for them to listen to me. But if they listen to me, listen to the people here, when they go to school or camp or wherever they go, they'll listen. They know to say yes, sir, and they have respect.
Yeah.
To the adult. And I'm excited. Like I said, I mean, am I going to make them do competitions and all that? If my daughters don't like jiu-jitsu, they'll just do it a part of practice. I'm not going to force them to do competitions or like, you know, but that first, until they get to high school and they start branching off into their own, like I said, I'm still going to support if they get into science.
I guess that is true. Like once you get to a certain age, that's whenever you start really like once you get to like the teens, like high school age, that's when you start kind of becoming who you are.
Yeah, you start developing.
At least start forming who you are, you know?
Right. You start understanding what you like. Like I understood I love football in high school and I wanted to do basketball. There was a lot of things I wanted to do. And I wasn't able to try everything. But at least, you know, for my daughters, I want them to try everything and I want to make sure I have that opportunity. I can give them that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, they're twins, but they're different personalities. Even at 5-6 months coming up, you know, they're very different personalities. So one, like I said, if I get one that's a great jiu-jitsu player, that's awesome.
Yeah. But I think the reason that I ask it like that, and I didn't think of it until like just kind of now whenever you just kind of started breaking it down there. But like whenever a parent is like talking about their kids doing jiu-jitsu in the sense of like how you're talking about your daughters doing jiu-jitsu,
right.
They're not old enough yet. in my mind, my brain automatically goes to like a test tube athlete.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you're like stretching them in the crib right at birth and you're like showing them videos when they're like 2 years old of how to pull guard. You know what I mean? Like things like that's where my brain goes immediately. And that's across the board when people are like talking about like, yeah, my daughter's going to do jiu-jitsu forever. Like whenever she's 2 years old. And I'm like, she's not even born yet. What are you talking about?
No.
You know what I mean? And that's where my brain automatically goes. And I don't think of it in the sense of like how you just explained it, where you're like, no, it's kind of going to be like a template thing. But I mean, like once she hits high school, if she says she hates jiu-jitsu, I'm not going to force it down her throat.
Right. You know, I mean, I would look in my mind, I would love for them to be competitive with each other, help each other grow, and, you know, working with twins. They'll always have a partner to work on technique and everything, and they'll be phenomenal. But chances are, you know, they might not. They won't adapt to it. They won't have the same passion that I have for jiu-jitsu. And even now, I like doing jiu-jitsu, but my body can't keep up with a lot of things just because I'm constantly injured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I say injured, I'm just nagging injuries, but, you
being
know.
Being a little bitch.
Being a little bitch. I mean, that's the way you guys put it around here. Even with strep throat people. So, like, you're not getting on the mat? What are you, bitch? And like, I can give you
fucking antibiotic? Really?
Really? But at the end of the day, you know, I want my kids just to I want them to enjoy life. I want them to understand that the discipline, to have the respect. You know, in the South, I think I gained a lot of that respect, you know, respecting the elders. You know, that's very important to me. Mm-hmm. And I want my kids to have a good foundation, good fundamentals. And martial arts does that. Martial arts from Taekwondo, where I learned to say yes, sir, no, sir.
Yeah.
You know, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You know, Taekwondo taught me that. And I'm saying it was a respected. Taekwondo also helped me learn how to like walk away from fights and stuff. I know the stories I've told you lately. I like fighting, but I mean, you know,
I've yet to hear you tell a story where you walked away from a fight.
Oh, there's a couple in growing up as a teenager, but that's because I knew I was going to take some L's, and
just one or two.
I wanted to keep that fucking 0-0 record.
That 0-0 record.
I ain't trying to go 0-1, but no, you know, but it's very important that my kids, as they learn martial arts or jiu-jitsu, MMA, whatever, they understand it's a sport and it's giving them good foundation. I don't want them going out fucking pulling arm bars on random kids that talk shit to them. You know, but they're twins. They're twins. Like I said, I might have one that's an athlete and one that's a nerd.
Big kids like from Cobra Kai.
Oh my God.
Show no mercy. I just got done watching that series. That's why that came to mind. Right. Was Cobra Kai. That was a good series, by the way. You need to watch
I remember you telling me you want me to get that.
You gotta watch that. You gotta check that out. Yeah, just sign up for a month for free and then unsubscribe.
Or I could use yours. If you already have the month, you just signed up, I can just use your account.
Or you can just get your own fucking account.
Why would I get my own account when you have the account already? Why would and you're not even you already canceled it for the month.
Why would we share accounts? Oh, see? Boom.
Come on, bro.
Come on, man. Come on. Nah, man. Figure your own shit out. You got it. Oh, fuck.
But my kids, we'll see. But my kids are only going to be passionate about something that I can make them. I don't really have, I love this. You know what you're passionate about. You know what I mean? And those kids are adapting to everything that I do, that I say, that whatever their mother says, the environment that they're in.
But I think like kids at that young age, well, not even that young age, probably more so in like the high school years, they just need to be given like more options. Cause like I didn't know what I was passionate about. Yeah. I didn't figure it out for a long time. Like I fell ass backwards into martial arts. Like I knew it was something that interests me, but I didn't know it was something that I could potentially be passionate about. Not until I actually started doing martial arts.
Oh, but
like for me, I just had no idea like what I wanted to do, what direction I wanted to go, and like how I wanted to proceed.
I mean, if the UFC was this popular back when I was in high school, I definitely would have been like, I'm going to be a UFC fighter.
When'd you graduate?
2006.
I wasn't even in high school yet. Wow.
Yeah, no. I mean, when
I forget we have quite the age difference.
I think my first fight was Rich Franklin versus... I forgot. It was on Spike TV. But I remember when I saw Rich Franklin, I was like, oh my God, that looks so cool.
The first fight I ever saw was Tito Ortiz and Ken Shamrock.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Two. Two, the second time they fought.
Tito beat him up both times.
Both times, like seconds. Real quick, like. So, yeah, that was the first fight I ever saw. But I remember it was like my brother's wrestling team, and then, because he was in high school, I was in middle school at the time. I just, like, came downstairs while they were all watching UFC. But even then, like, because the Ultimate Fighter was out at the time, he was, like, trying to get me to watch the Ultimate Fighter. Right. Wasn't into it. Not into it at all. Yeah. Like, I had no appeal to MMA whatsoever. And that was, like, my brother trying to get me to watch it. And it wasn't until, like, my later high school years whenever I was truly interested.
I'm honestly, I wish I could think who Rich Franklin was fighting. I remember watching it back then and watching his story. He's like Rich Ace. He looks like Jim Carrey. And I remember they really sold it on Spike. And then I remember I really got into it to the UFC when I saw Rashad Evans fight.
Who was he fighting?
I think that's when he knocked out. I think it was on the Ultimate Fighter finale when he knocked that dude out when he was a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing him and being like,
he wasn't a heavyweight. He was fighting as a heavyweight, but he wasn't no heavyweight.
But I remember watching him and being like, oh my God, this is so awesome. But then I still was like, it's the same thing with stand-up comedy. It was like, I watched these things and I loved it and I was like, this is amazing. But I didn't know it was an actual thing for me.
Yeah.
You know? So I wish it was around back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So I can, you know.
Can I tell you at the time I hated Rashad Evans? Like whenever Lyoto Machida knocked him out, oh, it was awesome.
Oh my.
I loved that so much. I loved it so much. Because Rashad Evans was just so cocky. He was so cocky at the time. He was like 18-0. Mm-hmm. And then he fought Lyoto Machida, and Lyoto Machida just put him the fuck down. Oh, it was fantastic. It was amazing.
I was such a Rashad Evans. You know who I didn't like, which is crazy now, because I'm like one of his biggest fans?
Who?
Nick Diaz.
Really? Why?
I didn't like his attitude. I was more like, martial arts is about respect, dude. I don't know what's going on here. Why is he flipping him off? I love Nick.
Yeah.
I love Nate. But then I saw Nick, and Nick just kind of, because Nate kind of came off, and I would always see like Nate shake hands after the fight.
Yeah.
But Nick always seemed like he held a grudge. But now I'm Nick Diaz's biggest fan. I know he doesn't fight anymore. But the last, like, when he was in Strike Force and everything, he was a champion. Oh my God. My friend would like go to work, and he had cable. He was like one of my only friends that had cable back in LA. And I would like beg him to use his apartment just so I can watch the Nick Diaz fights by myself. I'd be like, hey man, I know like you're going to work. Can you please, like, he would leave me his key.
So you could watch Nick Diaz.
So I could watch Nick Diaz fight on Showtime, on Strike Force.
That's a little extreme.
That's how much.
Hey, if you're into it though, for sure.
I would make it like a date night for myself. I'd be by myself. I'd order something special from a restaurant. I'd have like.
We all do those little date nights for ourselves.
Yeah, but it was like a thing before it was supposed to be a thing, and I would just set up. I'd clean up his apartment after, but I would like.
So this is like your friend's apartment. You're just whoring out for Nick Diaz fights.
Yeah, I would literally like. I'd plan it. I'd get wings and stuff, and I'd fucking get chips and dip for myself. Like I'd plan a whole party just for myself, and then I would watch the whole show. The Strike Force card. That's when Jorge Masvidal and God, there was so many. That's when the football player was fighting.
Football player,
not Bo Jackson, but the other. He played for the Cowboys.
I have no idea.
He was like 50 years old, and he was fighting. Jorge Masvidal, Luke Rockhold, Josh Thompson.
A ton of people that came from.
I mean, I used to watch all those fights, man. I was such a fan, and watching them fight, that's what got me into JiuJitsu. And did I ever tell you a story about me doing African American martial arts?
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah,
I told you. Okay.
Yeah.
I told on here.
You were the only black guy too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was the only black.
You were the only black dude that was there.
Yeah. But that's what got me into it, man. And fantastic days.
Wouldn't you like to go roll with that guy now?
The Grandmaster was legit. He could fight.
African American martial arts?
Yeah, he could fight. Hands down, he could fight. I get what he was trying to do.
What's that?
He wanted to start a new trend. I mean, Brazilians had the jiu-jitsu, and everything you learn is in Portuguese. I mean, it was the same fundamentals. He just made it, African American. It was just his style, and we were learning Swahili. It was a real thing, but I mean, it wasn't like disrespect to any other martial arts. It was. I think the base was sambo wrestling. You know, it wasn't like fuck the other martial arts. He was just trying something new and make his own creative thing. And I mean, he was a businessman.
Was he though?
It's no different than half these other gyms.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I gotta be real delicate when I say this.
Yeah, take it easy, guy.
I'm trying to be delicate. He was trying. I will say that. I don't want to get because I'm not that educated to speak on it, and I don't want to like make a correlation and like start shit.
We'll leave it at that. He tried. He gave it a shot. He tried his best.
Are you sure I told that story on here?
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
I don't think I did.
I don't know. This is like episode 16 now, dude. All of our stories are the same. We don't have any more stories anymore. No, these motherfuckers know us now.
How was Hawaii? Why are you avoiding this?
I'm not avoiding Hawaii. Hawaii was awesome. Hawaii was dope. Oh, man. Well, so the main thing that people have been asking me about Hawaii is like, what was my favorite part? And it took me a while to kind of figure it out, but I think it was just like the island itself. Like everywhere you look, it is literally the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Nice. Like the entire island is just like this luscious green. There's mountains and there's like a mist in the morning and it feels perfect. The sun shining on it. It's fucking beautiful. Beautiful. Now, Hawaii was interesting. Like, I had a great time. I had a fantastic time in Hawaii, but there was a lot of things I've learned that I didn't know about Hawaii that I thought was interesting. Like, there was wild chickens.
What?
Yeah, that's just chickens running around.
Like a Zelda video game?
I never played Zelda.
Oh, all right. Well, shitty reference. Sorry, people.
But yeah, no.
Wild chickens just running around?
Yeah, chickens just running around.
Do they run in packs or like...
Probably in like groups, yeah, like 2 or 3. But
are they aggressive?
No, they'll come right up to you, dude. They don't give a shit.
Nice.
Yeah. So then, that and mongoose. Never saw a mongoose before.
I was trying to picture. All I think of was like the bike.
Yeah, no, they kind of look like squirrels.
Oh.
So we had to Google it, and we were like squirrel-looking things. But no. So then, past that, we were right on Waikiki Beach, and God, the tourism was so fucking insane. Like, It was just packed. So they just did like, there's another thing too that was like really interesting is like, there's a lot of Japanese people there, and I didn't know like it was like going to be that much. Like to the point, if you walk into a restaurant, there's an English menu and a Japanese menu.
Right.
And even so much so that they even just changed like the traffic laws in Waikiki Beach specifically. So, you know how like in the States, if like the traffic lights, so if there's a red light, you can use the crosswalk on that side, right? And then green lights, they're going that way. You can't use the crosswalk going that way. So in Waikiki Beach, they do it like they do it in Japan, where every single car will get a red light, and then you can use all of the crosswalks at the same time.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's just interesting to see them do that. So, I actually got hooked up with one of the locals. This is a guy that used to work with me at Target. He was a Hawaiian native, so I had him hook me up with. A dude, one of his boys, because he grew up down there, like on Oahu, the island that I was on. So one of his boys like brought me to this hike at the top of their tallest mountain. I don't know where it was on Oahu, but like through this private hike, and we were on this treehouse, and you could see the whole island. He was just telling me a lot of interesting stuff. So apparently, like if you want to go from Japan to the United States or like Australia to the United States, like you have to stop in Hawaii. Oh, like you can't just do a straight shot through. You can't. Right. You have to stop in Hawaii. So like he was saying that a lot of times people just come through, stop in Hawaii for a few days, and then go out to the United States, wherever they were going to go, whether it's LA, New York, whatever the case may be. But a lot of times people just take like pit stops in Hawaii.
Nice.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I never knew that like you couldn't just make it through a straight shot. And then another thing I didn't think about that was interesting, he told me not to eat any beef. He's like, don't fuck with any beef.
Why?
I was like, really? He was like, yeah. He was like, because all the beef that they grow there, or that they raise there, is like going to be shit at farmers market. Like they don't raise that much cattle. on the island. So any beef that you go and eat at like restaurants and shit, all that shit's imported. Like you don't want that.
Okay.
You want that? I don't want that.
I mean,
I ain't fucking with that. Beef imported from fucking Iowa and Hawaii. Mm-mm.
I mean, that's how I get the Iowa ribeyes. So if you're trying to hate on Iowa, they have good ribeyes.
They do, but I don't think they have good ribeyes in Hawaii.
I get what you're saying.
I just wasn't about it. That was his 2 cents too. But then, past that, like, we did the whole touristy thing, man. We just hung out on the beach every day. Went to fucking Pearl Harbor. Check that out.
You got laid?
No. Mm-mm.
You didn't get laid? You didn't put the beads over you or the reef over you?
No.
I thought that was like a thing. I thought you like get off the airplane and they like have. God, this is so terrible. No, I'm saying it out loud. You get off the plane. There's like women in the Hawaiian skirts and everything, and they say "Welcome to Hawaii," and they
No, I mean they gave me a flower necklace thing, but it's not like they
didn't put on you.
No, there's no.
What is going on?
People in skirts doing the fucking hula dance.
I feel like I watched like a Brady Bunch episode. Like that's what happened. The kids got off the plane.
I probably did in the Brady Bunch.
You just broke my heart.
I'm sorry. They don't do that in Hawaii. But no, they were super fucking clean though.
Right.
Like super clean. Like you go there and you feel like a fucking pig walking down this street. Like we're dirty as fuck. They're super clean.
Shout out to KC Mo.
Yeah, no, trust me. Like I thought KC was clean as hell coming from St. Louis because St. Louis is dirty as a motherfucker, you know. But yeah, Kansas City's nasty compared to Hawaii. Right. Fucking nasty. Like Hawaii, they keep their shit super clean. Like they don't even allow you to smoke in public.
Good.
So yeah, no, it was a good trip, man. Good trip.
Can I want to tell you something.
Okay.
I do not care for tourist shit.
I don't either.
Like I'm one of those people. If I'm going to like a certain city, and maybe it's something from my mother or I'm trying to change now because I want my kids to like experience life in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm going somewhere, I'm going for a destination. I don't care. I'm just going for that destination. I don't need to see anything.
You're saying just like the relaxation factor.
Yeah, if we're flying, let's say you and I went to Philadelphia. I don't need to see the Rocky statue or anything. I just need to. Why are we in Philadelphia? We're here for this. Okay, cool. Maybe if we get hungry, we'll go to like a restaurant or something. But I don't need to like drive around all day and oh my god, there goes a statue. Oh my god, that's a stadium. I don't need to do any of that. Yeah. I've never cared for that stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to change now because I want my daughters to like see America and see the world and kind of have an appreciation.
Yeah, for
where they live, but also other places too.
I think it all depends too on if something like interests you, you know? Because I'm the same way. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I don't give a shit to see the Rocky statue that much. You know what I mean? But like while I was in Hawaii, so like we went and saw Pearl Harbor. That's why I say touristy things.
Right.
Everybody goes and sees Pearl Harbor. But that was one thing I was like really interested in. I really wanted to see Pearl Harbor because that was like genuinely something that interests me. So it was cool to get like a lot of information there. But as far as like, I don't know, like what you were saying, like I agree. I'm the exact same way. I'm like, let's just do what we came here to do. And really in my mind, what I came there to do was like to see I really just wanted to go sightseeing for the most part.
Nice.
Like that's my big thing is I want to go sightseeing. And even, you know what, one thing that does bug me on trips is I think that people take too many pictures sometimes. Does that sound bad? It sounds bad, doesn't it?
It does sound bad, but I'm laughing because I know I'm gonna be that parent where I'm gonna like tell my twins to be like, go get in front of the statue. Okay.
I hate more than anything in the world whenever I'm just fucking in, because like I said, the sightseeing is the main thing I want to go for.
Right.
Like when I'm just in the moment and I'm just enjoying the fucking environment that I'm in, and then someone's like, hey, let's take a picture real quick, and I'm like, get the fuck off of me and let me enjoy this. Don't you ever interrupt me again. It's like someone waking you up from a good dream. You just want to punch him in the face.
Right.
It's pretty much what I have. It's like, don't interrupt this moment. Like don't do this.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the way life is now. That's the direction it's headed in, where like it's either...
Man, that's cool if you're that way, but respect that I'm not that way.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I mean, you can look at my Facebook and Instagram, I only post photos every now and then, but yeah, I've never been a photo. I like to be in the moment.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like a lot of people were like, how many pictures did you take? And I was like, I took like 2 or 3. And it was just and they were both like background pictures. It wasn't
you took I'm sorry, you took like fucking stock photos. You took photos of like the scenery.
That's it. Yeah.
No photos with you in it. It was like I literally told Matt
because I don't care.
I'm pretty sure he Googled these images. It was like, oh my.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's how beautiful it was. Right. It looks like Google Images.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would I want to take a picture? I want to be in the moment there. I just took a picture because I was like, those were like images that were truly incredible to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It looked amazing.
But like, as far as like, oh, let me take a selfie here. Like, fuck that. Like, why are you going to ruin this moment like that? I hate that shit. That was, like, the only thing that would bug me about trips is whenever motherfuckers wanted to, like, pose for a picture or something. I'm just like, dude, can I not enjoy this for a second? Just let me fucking have this. This is why I came here.
Nah, I've been, I don't know, this might be a little too personal, but we'll find out in a week or two. I kind of have that argument with my girlfriend right now.
Really? Are you the picture taker?
No, I'm not. I don't.
You're the exact opposite?
Yeah, I don't really take photos or anything. And I don't post a lot of photos. Like every now and then I'll post a photo of my daughters. Mm-hmm. But that's it. I keep it real simple. And I think I have a photo of like my photo that I have on my Facebook profile is like of me and Zach. I took like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't really, I have photos with her, but I don't have a lot of photos. And if I do have photos, whatever I do have with her, I don't upload them. It's like a personal, private thing.
Yeah.
It's just for her and I, but she's, she kind of hits me with like, how come I'm not on there? How come you don't post of me? What are you ashamed of?
That makes sense.
It's like, no, I'm not ashamed. It's just like, I'm very.
I get that from the opposite perspective,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that. That makes sense.
Maybe I'll clip in a photo of us for the podcast.
Yeah, oh, I see what you're saying. Like, throw it in there.
Yeah, I'll throw it in there as a tribute.
Best thing you can do. Yeah. Throw in a little family photo.
I care about it, but I've been that way with all of my girlfriends.
I get that, but, she don't see it that way.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's just how it is,
But even every single girlfriend I've had, which isn't a lot, I've, like, always kept my photos and everything intimate and private.
Yeah,
I've never been one to share them. Like, look at my girlfriend. Look at
Yeah, that's I'm pretty much the same way. Like my photo album that I have in my phone. Yeah, like that's where it stays. Like if I take a picture, if anyone sees me taking a picture, like 9 times out of 10, that's just for me.
Right.
For the most part, I don't know. No. But I'm not a big picture taker like that. I fucking. Let me enjoy the moment.
You know what? It's funny. I got that camera now. Oh, someone's calling this late.
It's goddamn late.
Oh, business call. Go ahead.
Business call. I'm not picking that up. Fucking kidding me? It's 11 o'clock at night. Right?
Yeah, no, it is. Folks, I think it's one of those weird things. I got that camera now. And I took a couple like prom photos and stuff, but I take photos of my kids. I take prom photos, but I don't take photos of me.
The phone and be like, "You're ruining the podcast, you asshole."
Please don't do that.
I could.
Unless you plug it too. When they're like, "What podcast?" You're like, "Off the Mat podcast." Check it out on YouTube.
We're on YouTube. What are you talking about? Prom photos?
No. Okay. So I have my camera.
You took those prom photos for. Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine.
We're talking about prom photos. You don't have to cut that out, really. I mean, I get. Yeah, you probably should cut that out.
I should cut it out.
No. You need to cut it.
All right.
Anyways,
let me.
We're back. Yeah.
So I got the how I bought that camera. It was mainly for the podcast.
What camera? I'm joking. Gotcha.
The expensive camera I spent money on.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't used it as much. I took the photography class, and then so I know how to use it a little better now. Mm-hmm. But I still like haven't got out there like taking street photos or like photos, portrait.
I mean, you've hopped into classes a couple times and taken a few photos. You took some pretty good pictures of Marissa.
Like, I did.
Anyone that saw like on our last episode, you put in a bunch of pictures of Marissa that I personally thought were pretty good.
Yeah, they weren't bad, and I'm trying to get better because I want to start doing events.
Yeah,
but I took this girl's prom photos, and they came out really nice. I might put one in there, but yeah, it's weird trying to figure out. I don't know why I said weird like that. Trying to figure out like have an artistic eye. Because I'm trying to.
I think a lot of that stuff will just come to you though too.
I think so. I mean, I think that's what everything stand up fighting. The more you do it, the better you get. At everything. Repetition. My teacher used to say in acting school. So.
Well, I think too. I mean, like even with like photo taking, how we were just talking about it. So like those 2 photos that I took while I was in Hawaii, like. Those were photos that I took because in that moment, whenever I saw like those images, I was like, I have to get a photo of this. And I think those are when you get really good photos is whenever you're in like a moment or you see like a position or something like that where it's like, that's a picture.
I just feel weird walking up to someone and being like, because I want to do photo shoots for some of the fighters here. Not a photo shoot because I don't have all the equipment, but I want to take some photos like I did of Marissa and
you know. Who? Dude, anyone on that mat would love to do it.
I know. I like the organic of it. I like the way she didn't notice the camera. She didn't even know I was filming her.
Don't tell motherfuckers. Just start taking pictures.
I know, but like, I don't know. I'm starting to look up more information about having photo shoots and everything, and I've been looking up Esterline. I don't know if you know who that is, but she's she works for MMA fighting. She does all the big time MMA UFC events photography.
Okay.
Like she had she's captured some iconic photos. Like she has an iconic photo of Holly Holm throwing a head kick to Ronda.
Okay.
And her jaw fucking being out of place. So I've been like researching her and seeing what camera she uses, the lens that she used for MMA fights and how.
Yeah.
So I think it might be a little hobby. Like I want to dive deeper into the hobby of photography and try to help it with MMA, the local fights we have around here. So when we talk about it, maybe I can put in clips and then I want to do like a little documentary. I don't want to say documentary, but I want to do like more interviews. Like I know we do it here, but I want to do like just a single camera. I'm not in the frame, just a single camera, and have fighters and
not me. I don't fight no more, dog.
Different personalities to give their takes on certain stuff.
I like it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to dive
that's an
deeper.
idea that we've thrown around too, as far as like doing fighter interviews as well. So.
Yeah, but I want nothing to do with like I don't want to be.
You don't want to be in it, right?
It's literally just the close up. So I'm trying to find activities and ways to dive deeper into the hobby and see where it leads me.
So speaking of fighter interviews, fucking talking with Nick Grass lately.
Yeah, you surprised me today. You called me and
I was like, we gotta get this motherfucker back on.
Yeah, we gotta.
So we got Nick Grass coming on next week. Actually, you know what? Let's backtrack real quick.
Nope. So we have Nick Grass coming on next week.
No. We're gonna go ahead and backtrack real quick. Because I think you just saw the gears turning in my head and you realized where my brain just landed.
I'm excited to have
guys. This is supposed to be a fucking diary episode.
Journal. It's not a diary.
Journal, diary, notebook. Whatever.
It's a journal.
It's supposed to be a fucking journal episode. Go ahead. Explain.
I wasn't.
Tell them why.
There's no good reason why. I just didn't think about it. I forgot that you made the statement in the previous Marissa episode that I was going to do the journal.
I'll pull the video back up where you agree to it.
So,
because I asked you, I was like, "Are we ready for it?" You, yeah, diary episode, journal episode.
Maybe when you start calling it a journal full time, I will fucking bring the journal in. I'm gonna have it in. It's a very that's an emotional.
All I'm gonna say is that we asked for feedback on the journal.
Yeah, we got positive feedback.
We got positive feedback on the journal, and you have done nothing but neglect the people for that. Is that how you show thanks for asking for feedback?
I appreciate everyone that listens. I'm going to deliver. We're going to have Nick on, and then we'll do a journal episode. And, we'll probably dive right into it. So, you got to understand, that's not an easy thing for me to do. That is very vulnerable. That is very me opening up my personal thoughts.
Yes.
To our listeners and our viewers, and I'm grateful we got positive feedback because I thought we were gonna get back like turn this lame shit off. But I'm very, very excited to share a different piece of my life, and I don't know how we're gonna do it. I don't know if you're just gonna go randomly or if you want to go to the day after, the last entry.
You had said that you wanted to do it randomly, and I'm
I want to do it randomly because I think it's very important to see different aspects in the growth in my life. And from the beginning to the end. And, there is something today I discovered I do not want to go into in my journal.
Which is fine.
Yeah. Because, and for people that don't know, I'm not going to like keep it all hidden. Like, what is it? I had a relationship, I throughout my journal in my years, obviously like a human being, I've had relationships with certain, I had girlfriends. And there's one, I'm terrible at relationships. And as you read through the journal and everything, you'll understand that I made my mistakes. But there's a couple I really don't want to dive into because out of respect to them and basically out of respect to them, I don't think they need their business out there. And I just want to respect their privacy. Even though I did make it about me and, what happened between us is something that happened between us and I had to grow from those relationships and it doesn't need to be made public.
I think that's one thing that you and I are pretty good about as far as doing that on the podcast. We're pretty open with like who we are and what we do and how we feel and things like that. But whenever it comes to other people's things and other sensitive things, like, obviously, that's not our business to put people on blast like that.
No,
whatever the case may be, if someone prefers privacy, then we got to respect people's privacy as human beings,
I think every girl I've ever dated, or I've been fortunate enough to be, have a relationship with, I love them and I respect the hell out of them, and what they were dealing with was a very immature, insensitive me who was an alcoholic and never had focus on anything that was healthy. And when I was dating them, I was very selfish. I was very about me, and you need to live by my law. I was never like, I could be emotionally abusive. I was never physically abusive. I've never put my hands on any girl outside of sparring. But I
Marissa fuck you up.
I agree. But but I had to grow from those relationships. So any girl I've previously dated, you're an amazing individual, and I hope you found happiness, and I'm sure you did find happiness once we separated because would I go through some times. And it was never my fault. It was never my fault, so what's in the past is in the past.
So what you're saying is you're sorry that you didn't bring your fucking journal like you promised.
Yeah, I'm what? Do you hear the tone that you God, I can't wait till you're a parent.
I'm just teasing you. Until I'm a parent, what does that have to do with anything?
Just the way you do that to me, I can see your kid coming home after like failing a test. You'll be like, let me see the test. And you'll be like, I don't have it, Dad. You'll be like, so what you're fucking telling me?
Oh, that's the thing, dude. Whenever I have kids, they're not getting away with anything. Like, I'm an asshole.
You say that now till you look in your kid's eyes and you're like, oh, they smelt you.
No, but I'm saying, like, if they try to, like, swindle me on some shit, like, you're not getting every trick in the book. I know it, dude.
Yeah.
Every excuse you're thinking of, I thought about it 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at class tonight. We were talking. And, me having twin daughters is instant karma for me. For the way that I thought I was such a player and, such a suave guy. And my daughters now, I have to, like, teach them and help them grow. And hope that no perverted guy comes around them and, is coming after one thing, that the guy likes them.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I get to like later in my life, I'll get to meet these guys that come into their life, these kids, teenagers, however old, and be like, I don't like that kid because I know exactly what he wants. And they're like, how do you know, Dad?
Because I was that motherfucker.
Exactly. I can't be like, well, that was me when I was a kid. So.
That's the thing, though. Your daughters are never going to fucking listen to you. Never.
They will.
Never.
They will.
Fuck no.
They will.
Fuck no. They're not going to listen to you. You're going to say the same shit that your mom said to you and the same shit that her parents said to her and the same shit that their parents said to them. And you're not going to fucking listen just like all of them didn't. Man. That's what kids do, dude.
My kids are going to be
That's what
different.
Kids do. Look, parents do the same. I realize, like, looking back now, my parents were right.
Right.
About everything. Everything, they were fucking right. I was wrong about pretty much 99.9% of it. Pretty much.
Probably.
Pretty much. Like, looking back at it now, I'm just like, fuck, they were so right. Fuck, they were right about this. Fuck, they were right about that. It's like, god damn, if I just listened to them 50% of the time.
Oh, definitely.
Just 50%. That's all I needed to do. And instead, I listened to them 4% of the time.
You know, I try to get hidden gems. Like when I talk with some of the parents here, man, I see the way they interact with their kids, and you know, I try to get hidden gems to get my kids to like, how'd you get your kids to respond like that? Because I want my kids to do well. You know, I want them to be disciplined, and we have plenty of great parents here that you know,
it's kind of crazy, like seeing some of the parents like how they keep their kids like just fucking like well-oiled machines, man. Like everybody's just like doing their shit like like all of the kids that are here consistently know what they should be doing and know what they shouldn't be doing, and they do a very good job of like not getting too crazy or not getting too out of line. And if they do, it's like the parents are just like, really? Fucking really? And then they're just like, shit, all right, let's bring it back in, guys. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, you know.
But it just cracks me up whenever like you see the moms that are giving the looks, like the Gilliams.
Oh my god,
that entire family just cracks me the fuck up. I love them.
Maureen, man.
Maureen is fucking awesome.
Man, I get scared. I always look at Sean like, dang,
her and I always joke about it afterwards. That's the best part.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just like, you leave him here, like we'll fuck him up for you if you want. Like, you can just leave him here. And
she does it herself, though.
Like, you guys signed a waiver, right? Yeah, you're good. Maureen, just drop him off. Just leave for 10 minutes.
She does it herself, man. She's such a great mom, and I'm trying to, like, I'm literally studying her. I study, you know, I've in-depth conversations with Jason and Heidi, you know. Multiple
Jason, people. Heidi, there's all kinds of people.
Because their kids are
Teresa, Heather, like, everybody.
I try, man. Heather, yes. I'm always looking to study and see what their movements are, how much they put in the sentence.
Yeah.
You know, do they have to keep repeating themselves? No, you have to say it once. You know, so I'm learning. You know, I want to be a good parent. I want my kids. My big goal is to have my kids disciplined. But see, I feel like sometimes when your kids are like good kids in front of you, they are bad motherfuckers. Like when you're not around.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the kids that you know you can trust are the ones that are shitheads in front of their parents. Not like shitheads to where they're disrespectful, but to where they'll like crack a joke and make fun of their parent. Like Rich's kids. Rich's kids are perfect examples. Like they'll fuck with Rich or they'll fuck with Bree. And you know, both of them got such thick skin, they're just like they throw it right back at them.
Right.
Like those kids are exactly the same as when they're around Rich and Bree as when they're not around Rich and Bree.
That's the goal.
That's when you can tell, like, whenever they're, like, shitheads like that to where they'll, like, throw it back at their, like, you know, give their parents shit, but not in a disrespectful way. You know, that's when you know, like, that they pretty much got it. That's how Nick's kids are, too. Nick's kids are the same way.
Yeah.
They're across the board. They're going to be the same.
They're all great kids, though.
You know what's hilarious? Carly did the funniest So Carly has this thing, right? So
Carly is... Can you explain who Carly is?
Yes, Nick Grass's youngest daughter.
Right.
So she cracks me up, dude. She is hilarious. So I'll be working behind the desk, right? And she has in her mind that we made up a deal. We never made up a deal. But in her mind, there's a deal that's been made.
Right.
That if I'm not behind the desk, she's allowed to sit in my chair. But if I am behind the desk, she can sit on the counter behind me.
Right.
I'm like, Carly, like, you can't be fucking behind the desk. You can't be back here. She's like, well, why not? And she just gets so pissed at everything. Why not? She demands an answer.
Right.
I was like, cuz, Carly, if you're back here, all the other kids are going to want to come back here. And before I know it, I got 20 kids back here. There's not 20 kids in here that could be back here right now.
She's intelligent.
I'm like, oh, okay, I would have 4 kids sitting around the desk then, Carly. And she was like, well, they won't. And I was like, you don't know that. They might. And I was like, what? The only thing that I could think of to get her to, like, get away from the desk without the kids, like, seeing her, I put her in the cabinet.
Oh, yeah.
I opened the cabinet. I was like, you can hang out in there. And she was like, can I really? I was like, yep.
That's cool.
Put her in the cabinet. She stayed in there for like an hour.
Oh, I don't think
like just watching her iPad.
I don't know if you should be saying that on camera.
It was voluntarily. I mean, she would come and go, you know. She would get out and she'd come back in. But then people were like coming up to me, like, where's Carly at? She's in the cabinet. Like, only here could that fly.
Right. Yeah, you go anywhere else, you go to jail.
But nah, she cracks me up, man. The families in here, man, they're something special. They're interesting. They crack me up. Yeah. I love our community.
No, I really do. I think we created good. You guys,
motherfucker, you guys too. You're in it. You're an instructor. Shut your fucking face.
Create a great community. I'm very excited for these kids to grow and see what type of where they head to, what path they go down, and I think it's good that if the kids feel comfortable to know that they can always come to the instructors. If they don't feel comfortable, come to their parents, and we'll help them out and always try to make sure they're in the best position.
It's kind of like the relationships that you start building with some of these guys too. Like I feel like like Chago, Sean, like those guys, like I don't know, those are my homies. If they ever got something going on, I would hope that they would be able to come to me.
Yeah, I think it's important that you lead by example because these kids do feed off of us.
Yeah, and sometimes the kids don't want to go to their parents for stuff too. Like whether it's embarrassing or they feel like their parents wouldn't understand or they're scared to say something to their parents when maybe they shouldn't be. Yeah. They come to the instructor and the instructor's like, dude, you're tripping. Go tell your dad. He's not going to give a fuck. Like, what are you doing? Kids, man. It's nice to have a parent like that. Kids are dope. Kids are dope.
And that's why I'm excited to bring my kids into this environment and hopefully it helps them grow and mature a lot quicker. Not too mature, but
I'm gonna fuck your kids up. You know that, right? Like I'm just gonna be constantly just like feeding them shit.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, the next time your dad tells you to do the dishes, you're supposed to just like tell him stop being a little bitch.
Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna edit this clip out of you putting Carly in the cabinet.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, I'm about to call Nick right now and be like, hey, Nick, just in case you hear some shit, just so you know, she wanted to sit in the cabinet.
Man, no, but I'm so grateful for the environment that we're in, and I think it's important that you find a good place for you to like grow in.
Yeah, we definitely have that. Because
when I used to hang out when I used to hang out at the bars, that was my environment.
Yeah,
and I started adapting to that lifestyle, drinking and doing what you do at a bar, play pool and get into bullshit.
Are you good at pool? Side note.
I used to be. I haven't played in months now, but I used to be when I worked at the bar. I used to play a lot of pool.
Didn't we play each other in pool?
No, we never got to. Or we play cutthroat. Yeah, we play cutthroat.
With who?
Matt. That's when we had the little employee party.
Fuck.
Yeah. Why you say it like that?
Because I don't like that guy.
Oh my god. Anyway, guys, so
you can tell Matt I said so. Fuck that guy.
Oh my gosh.
Matt Waters.
But I'm excited. So next week we have Matt Waters. We have Nick Grass coming back on. We'll discuss his fights. And I will say this, and if anyone listens, and I'll have this episode out this week, if you have any questions for Nick, we will be more than willing to ask.
Yeah, we plan on talking more about his fighting career this time. Last time we got a lot of information about his background, kind of where he came from. And now we kind of want to go into who he is now. Some of the things he does for his fights and how he prepares for them, all kinds of stuff, man. That's the thing. Like he's an overall interesting guy. Like he's an interesting MMA fighter.
Definitely.
And he's just like an interesting human being, like with an interesting story. Like, so, we feel like we didn't get enough, so we need to get him back on so that way we can figure out the fighting piece of things.
I mean, once you're a guest on Off the Mat podcast, you're always welcome back.
Always.
As long as you have something to talk about. And Nick, I know, is going to come through with some great stories. I have some questions for him. So I'm very excited. You know, months later, we'll have Marissa back on, and you know, we're trying to get new guests and kind of keep this more active.
Yeah, we have someone in mind. We need to.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think I'll be reaching out to him.
I'm excited for Nick. I'm excited to touch on Nick's fighting because he's a psycho and a badass individual, especially MMA fighter. So I'm excited. But you know, we have some cool guests coming up, and yeah,
exciting stuff. What are we at? Like 53, 54 of 100?
Yeah,
53, 54 of 100 for Zach Cummings to be on Off the Mat podcast, which his fight is coming up May 18th. Real quick, guys, our very own Keith McMillan will be commentating. What is that?
June 22nd.
June 22nd.
Yes.
So it's the Gail Harley-Davidson fight card. Mr. Keith will be commentating that, so look out for that.
Hopefully we have a couple fighters from this gym.
I'm sure we will.
Matt Waters will be commentating the next KCFA coming up.
No one gives a shit about Matt.
With Megan Anderson. So that should be fun.
Inter fun. That should be
Well, I was going to say interesting, but it came off condescending, and I don't want it to come off that way, so it should be fun.
So, either way, we got to wrap it up so we can get the fuck up out of here so you can get to your babies and whatnot.
I got to get to my babies.
So, we'll see you guys next week. Maybe with fucking Nick Grass, maybe after that, an actual fucking journal episode.
We'll do that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Fool me once.
I was going to talk about girlfriends.
Fool me once.
I was going to talk about my love life.
All right. We're out of here, guys. Love, peace, chicken grease.
All right. Bye.